Namaskar, I'm Ashok Vyas, and this week we are fortunate to have the presence of Padma Shri Dr. Suvir Parikh in this very special weekly interaction. Namaste, Raksha, welcome.
Namaste.
And as we begin today's conversation, many of us are thinking about what we have experienced in America in the last 1 week. Almost every day there is a shooting, and there are many questions which emerge due to this. So let's begin with the hate crime spree, which was observed at one spot, and what can be done to prevent recurrence of such ghastly killings.
Well, it is very ghastly killing, and my thoughts and my prayers goes to those who died in that shooting. Uh, only way to prevent this in future is to educate the people that color of the skin has nothing to do with the all the citizens of USA are equal, or even all the human being is equal. The color of the skin does not make any difference whether a person is good or bad or ugly, and therefore one should behave like that and respect each and every individual and human being, whoever you come across, and then the world gets better.
Absolutely. So, staying with this particular instance, where probably some Asian Americans of a particular descent were targeted, and then press as well as some of the leaders connected it with previous President Trump's use of the term Chinese virus, and they kind of blamed this on him. How do you respond to this connection?
I think it's a lame duck excuse on the part of the shooter, because I think the horrible thing they did, they tried to kind of pass the bucks to the or responsibility to or accountability to President Trump. I think that's not right thing to do. But I think what we need is we need very aggressive education of the people of USA, and educate them that color of the skin or color or different languages or different pronouncement does not mean that person is not is American.
Absolutely. And this is not the one shooter who came up with this. This is the press, which wants to sort of make President Trump responsible for this shooting also. But moving forward with your idea of educating, and that education indeed should begin from home as well as at school as well as at workplace. Do you think we have something like that already in place, or something new
I mean,
needs to start?
we have something like that in the place. But it's not enough, looks like, and it's not very effective, it looks like. So we have to go more aggressive and make sure that people should understand how to deal with the minority, how to deal with the people, those who looks different than themselves, or how to behave or treat the people, those who speak a little differently than themselves. Then this kind of horrible crime can be prevented.
Absolutely. And unfortunately for us, one color or at targeting a particular group for XYZ reasons. Another is there are some senseless killings where a shooter just shows up at a place full of people and at random targets them. This unfortunate thing just happened at Colorado, Boulder, and this guy was only 21-year old. So this also raises a lot of questions. We'll talk about the mental issue, but let's talk a little bit about the gun control. And how do you think gun control may help us in avoiding such unfortunate incidents?
Well, I mean, I I agree that there is a Second Amendment, so people have right to bear the gun, but there has to be some control of the how to license the gun, how person can purchase the gun, and they have to have a certain restricted use of the gun. Then and then, this kind of violent behavior stops. And of course, there are some individuals are mentally kind of deranged and disturbed, and they may carry out this kind of horrible crime. But again, we have to make sure why it happening. So I think deep down education, again deep down the understanding of this kind of crime, and deep down uh, uh, educate again people in the school, children in the school, in the colleges, even in the hospitals, and or even in the workplace, where the even professional can do this kind of horrible crime too, if they are not properly educated. And this kind of education should be mandatory in each and every workplace and the school.
So now, since we are just coming out of the impact of COVID-19, and that kind of forced everyone into some sort of isolation, indeed, interaction virtually was happening. But looking at the reference of this 21-year-old boy, his sister says that he is a loner and he is a very unhappy person and is not a social person. So just picking up on the importance of being social, the need to mingle and to be comfortable in the presence of other human beings. Do you think we need to have some sort of workshops or some special emphasis on this?
Well, I mean, there is one. I mean, if you look at the school, every school and college curriculum, I mean, they have this kind of education, but it's all a question of how you are transmitting that education and how the people are perceiving that education and how they are understanding their education. So everything is there. It's not like this is a new thing and a new invention here. Only is you have to consistently hammer the people that everyone is equal, regardless of their color, creed, religion, or their way of speaking, or even this way of eating or living. That does not change person. They all are the same, and one should respect each and every one of them in order to get the respect from others.
Absolutely. And staying with the issue of mental health, many times people are frustrated or there are some issues which bother them, be it on the pretext of not having good relationship at home, or maybe parents don't get along well, and that results into some kind of a disturbing space in the mind of young kids, or some financial pressure. So how do you think society at large, as well as family members, especially those who are immigrants, should have proactive approach in addressing mental issues?
Well, mental issue is very important, and everyone has to identify those individual who early enough to identify or diagnose them whether they have some mental issue or mental derangement, and they should treat the medical advice or medical counseling as soon as possible, and that's only way to nip it from the beginning.
And I think there is social taboo, and especially as we come from South Asian region or Indian Americans, and there are issues of domestic violence. There are people who are suffering from bipolar disease, etc. So many times, family members don't want to bring that out into the open. They don't want to expose, and they still look at it as a kind of a stigma. Your thoughts and observation based on what you have
Well, I
seen?
mean, in the past, we used to think that it's a stigma, but I mean, if family can bring out early enough and take the medical advice and medical counseling and medical treatment, then there's no stigma. They don't have to openly declare in the public. But nowadays, as you know, there's a privacy law. Means not even treating doctor can reveal about patient's condition, patient's disease or diagnosis, and so it is protected. So I think that is a lambda again excuse not to go to the help, medical help. Medical help is must, and medical help is always there is a privacy. No doctor can divulge someone's privacy or someone's diagnosis to the society. So one should not afraid of that.
So, if I may connect another issue that relates to the extreme side of not having mental balance, where one decides to commit suicide, and that we have observed in India as well as in America among youth also. Anything that comes to your mind which may act as a proactive mechanism to prevent this from happening?
Well, I mean, as I say, that again, reason for suicide is to identify a person who is emotionally disturbed, take it to the psychologist or psychiatrist early enough, diagnose enough, give them social support, and then that definitely will prevent this kind of outcome.
Absolutely. And now I bring back the reference of hate crime. We had one demonstration here in Flushing also in response to the killing innocent Asian Americans. And what what needs to be done in addition to what we have already discussed collectively? Do you think more and more inter-community gatherings would sort of help in increasing understanding and sort of learning about each other?
Of course, always anything we can do to understand each other, whether it's an interreligious gathering or inter-racial gathering, always helps, and we should encourage that, and we should do that.
Dr. Shah, another important aspect of our lives relates to opening back to normalcy, and in that direction, New York State has decided that no more work from home, and from May onwards, people would start getting back to their workspace. How do you see this development? Is it exciting, or one should proceed with a sense of caution?
No, I mean, always one should proceed with a sense of caution, and certain parameters has to be taken care of. But I think opening and work from the workplace as a go back to normal is very important, both for the work purpose, productivity purpose, as well as psychological well-being of the person. And therefore, and now we have 4 vaccines, and now vaccines are available. When whoever wants to get the vaccine, and therefore once you are vaccinated, plus 30% of the people already have COVID infection, and if 50% of the half of the population gets vaccinated, then the whole environment is safe. And then of course you have to keep the distance, you have to keep the, I mean, wear the mask in public if you can, and personal hygiene, and I think they should go for it, and I think I welcome government decision to open it up, everything.
Very good. So just 1 month to go, and things start moving in the direction of normalcy. And as we conclude today's conversation, we would also like your greetings for our viewers on the festival which is coming up, Festival of Holi.
Well, I would like to wish all our Indian American brother and sisters happy and very festive holiday seasons. And again, but remember, the vaccines are available. There are plenty of them supply, and so please get vaccinated as soon as you can. And that's really very important to end this pandemic. God bless you. God bless America. God bless India. Goodbye. Jai Hind. Thank you.